Hi, I'm Stephen Ewashkiw from Adventure Yoga. Thanks for choosing this beginner's Hatha yoga practice. This will be about a 45-minute practice, and it really is open to all levels. Especially if you're newer to yoga, this will have a lot for you to work on and a lot for you to learn. Concentrate, bring your focus to class, and let's have some fun. Welcome. Thanks for joining me for class today. Please take a comfortable seat. Look down at the ground or close your eyes. Sit up tall. Notice your breath. Just bring a little bit more awareness to your breath. Lengthen your inhale some and lengthen your exhale some. Concentrated effort overcomes all obstacles, even if they seem impossible. I get it. When you're new to yoga, a lot of yoga seems impossible. But with focused effort, the impossible becomes possible. It's not just a clever catchphrase, but really yoga helps make the impossible possible in our physical body, in our emotional body, and it helps us do things that were impossible before in our life. Please bring your hands together in front of your heart in the prayer position. It takes concentrated effort, but that's yoga. Yoga is a dedicated effort. It's what you dedicate yourself to so that we can overcome challenges. Today, concentrate your effort here in this practice. Lower your hands to your lap. Come onto your hands and knees, all fours. We're going to concentrate our effort today into your hamstrings, the backs of your upper legs. Bring your shoulders over your wrists and step your right leg back behind you. Stretch it out. Bring it off the ground. Already your hamstrings are working a little here to help lift your leg up. But they also bend your knee. So bend your knee. And then turn your right knee out to the side. I call this one dog peeing pose. So if you like that, you can use it. Help you remember what it is. Lift your right knee a little bit higher. And then stretch your knee back. Keep your knee bent. Stretch your knee straight back. Lift your knee up a little bit higher and then point your toes, point your ankle, and bring your right heel towards your butt. More hamstring work. Lift up through your right knee, just working to wake up your hamstrings. And then bring your right knee down to the ground, all fours. And then step your left leg back behind you, stretch it back, bring your toes off the ground. And then bend your left knee. So same work as we did on the first side. And dog peeing pose to the left. Open your left knee out to the side. Lift your left knee a little bit higher. And breathe. Concentrate your effort into your breath and into the work. And then bring your knee back. Stretch it back. Point your toes, point your ankle. Bring your heel to your butt. Lift your knee a little higher. And then bring your left knee down to the ground. Let's go back to the first side. Stretch your right leg back off the ground. Bend your knee. Take your right knee out to the side. Lift it a little higher. And then stretch it back again. Point your ankle and toes. Bring your heel to your butt, lift your right knee up higher, and then go back to dog peeing pose. Take it out to the side. And then stretch it back again. Point your toes. Bring your heel to your butt. Lift your knee. Look forward. Lift your chest a little. And then bring your right knee down. Stretch your left leg back. Bend your knee. Dog peeing pose. Open your left knee out to the left. Yoga is very serious, but sometimes we gotta call it dog peeing pose to prove that it's not so serious. Lift your left knee a little higher, then stretch your left knee back, point your toes, bring your heel to your butt, lift your knee a little bit higher, and then go back to dog peeing pose. And then stretch your knee back, point your toes, bring your heel to your butt, look forward, look up a little bit, and bring your left knee down. Place your feet flat, sit back on your heels, and fold forward. Child's pose. Bring your forehead to the ground. And take a couple of breaths here. Come back to your breath. Concentrate your effort on your breath. Then come back to all fours and stand up. Stand at the top of your mat with your feet about hip distance apart. Make your feet parallel to each other. It's roughly second toes pointed straight ahead. Stretch your arms down at your sides and look forward. Work to stack your head over your shoulders, over your hips, over your ankles. Tadasana, or mountain pose. We're going to move through 3 Surya Namaskar A's, 3 sun salutations. Stretch your arms up overhead. Keep your hands shoulder distance apart and have your palms facing each other. Push down through your feet. Pull back with your feet a little so your legs get strong. Stretch up. Urdhva Hastasana, or upward hand pose. And then bend your knees a little. Fold forward and touch the ground. Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to so that you can touch the ground here. That's actually much better for your hamstrings than having your hands off the ground. Then relax your head. Move your chest back towards your thighs some. Use that to help straighten your legs a little bit more, but make sure you keep touching the ground. If your hands are flat, come up onto your fingertips, and then everybody straighten your arms, push down and lift your chest away from the ground, even away from your legs. Half forward fold. And then bend your knees more, place your hands flat, step your left leg back, step your right leg back, come into plank pose. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Push down through your hands, push down through your toes, bend your knees and bring your knees to the ground. Bend your elbows a little and then point your elbows back rather than out to the sides, and then tone your belly and work to lower your body evenly so that you're not sticking your butt up or dropping your chest, but keep it a straight line even though it's at an angle to the ground. And then bring your hips down. Bring your lower belly down. Untuck your toes. Lift your chest a little. Look forward. Push your toes down. Move your shoulders down. Cobra. Bhujangasana. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips. Come to your knees. Lift your knees. And then push your hands forward. Move your chest back. Downward facing dog. Keep your knees bent for this down dog. Lift up through your hips. Look forward and walk forward. Come up onto your fingertips and straighten your arms to lift your chest. Half forward fold. And then fold forward. Uttanasana. Keep touching the ground, so bend your knees as much as you need to. And then everybody bend your knees a little, stand up and reach up. upward hands, Urdhva Hastasana, and then Tadasana. Bring your arms to your sides. Let's do that again. Inhale, stretch up. We'll move a little bit faster here. Exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. Uttanasana. Push down through your fingertips. Straighten your arms, lift your chest. Ardha Uttanasana. Keep touching the ground, and then step it back to plank pose. Step one leg back, other leg back, shoulders over your wrists. You don't have to bring your knees to the ground here if you don't want to, but do or do not. And then everybody bend your elbows and lower about halfway down. Then bring your belly down, your lower waist. Place your feet flat. Lift your chest. Keep your hips down on the ground. Spread your toes, spread your fingers. Cobra. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, push up and back, downward facing dog. I recommend down dog with bent knees because this is a basics class and because I want you to be working for some length in your hamstrings rather than stretching them to their max here. Bending your knees is going to help. It's going to keep them active, and it's going to help you find a little more length. Lift through your hips. Push through your hands. Look forward. Bend your knees a little more and walk forward. Come to your fingertips and lift your chest. Straighten your arms, and then fold forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Push down through your feet, bend your knees a little more, stand up, reach up, upward hands. Bring your arms to your sides. Tadasana. Steady your breath here. Concentrate your effort on the work that you're doing to make the impossible possible. And part of that, making the impossible possible, is taking in as many of the instructions as I'm offering you as you can and translating those into actions in your own body. Good thing our work today is to concentrate, right? Because I know it's a lot of concentration. Stretch your arms up. One more of these sun salutations. Bend your knees, fold forward, touch the ground. Straighten your arms, lift your chest. Place your hands, step it back to plank pose. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Choose knees down or knees off the ground and bend your elbows and lower about halfway. And then pause. This pose is called Chaturanga Dandasana. Then bring your hips down, place your feet flat, Cobra. Curl up through your chest a little, push down through your feet, tuck your toes, and come back into downward facing dog. Lift your hips, bend your knees, stretch through your arms. Lift up through your hips, lengthen through the sides of your waist, through the sides of your ribs, and concentrate on your breath. Look forward, bend your knees a little more, and walk forward. Come up to your fingertips. Touch the ground, straighten your arms, lift your chest. Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. And then full forward. Full forward fold. That is hard to say. Keep touching the ground. Push down through your feet and stand up. Reach up. And bring your arms to your sides. Tadasana. I have my own challenge of concentration. I have to keep focused on what we're doing, what's coming next, what I'm saying to you, what I'm going to say to you next, without losing it. That is a lot. That is making the impossible possible. Partly that's to remind you, like, all you have to do is do the work in the moment and concentrate on that. So that's our little warm-up. Hamstring work, Surya Namaskar A. Now we're going to go into a couple of standing poses. Stretch your arms up overhead. Upward hands, or Urdhva Hastasana. Bend your knees a little and fold forward, Uttanasana. Slide your hands beside your feet. Bend your knees as much as you need to keep touching the ground. And then step your right leg back to a lunge. Walk your left foot over to the middle of your mat And then take your right foot and turn your right heel over to the left so that you can bring your right foot flat onto the ground. And then push down through your feet and come up in your torso. Bring your hands to your waist. Let's just set up our feet a little bit. Look at your back foot, and I want it parallel to the back of your mat. I call that generally the short edge of your mat as opposed to the long edge of your mat. So right foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Your front foot, look at that, and I want it parallel to the long edge of your mat. So pointing straight ahead. And then line up with your left heel so it would go through the middle of your right arch of your foot if your feet were together. That's the setup. For this pose, Warrior Two. Stretch your arms out to your sides. Bend into your left knee so that your knee comes close to over your ankle or over your ankle. Stretch up through your spine rather than leaning forward. To bend your left knee, your hamstrings have to work, the back of your upper left leg. But we're going to get those a little more active so that they help us be a little more stable here. So push down through your left foot, and without letting it move, pull back a little. It's a very subtle action. Concentrate on pulling it back to make this action possible. You'll probably feel it in your right leg as well. Turn your left palm up. Keep your left foot pulling back actively and curl up and back. Take your right hand and slide it down your right leg. Reverse warrior. Pull back with your left foot. So your left hamstrings engage a little more and sit a little deeper. Reverse warrior. And then come back up to Warrior Two. Bend your left arm and lean onto your left thigh. Oh, this feels good, right? It's like, oh, thank goodness, dude. Turn your right palm to face up towards the ceiling, towards the front of the room. And then stretch your right arm alongside your ear. Stretch it forward. Pull back with your left foot. Engage the back of your upper leg a little more and sit a little deeper. This one's called a side angle pose. It takes a lot to concentrate that effort in the front foot. So you're not really moving it. You're working to fire up your muscles more, your hamstrings particularly. Pull it back. Lift up through your right ribs and turn up. Side angle pose. And then bring your right hand down, lift your right heel. Bring your left hand down outside your left foot. Bend your right knee and step forward. You can take one step or you can take 10 steps to get your right foot forward. Do what you need to do. Your hips been open a lot back there. It can be hard to step it forward. And then fold forward. Then we'll go to the other side. Step your left foot back. Come into the lunge. Walk your right foot over to the middle of your mat. And then turn your left heel in and down. Push down through your feet and come up. Bend your right knee. Bring your hands onto your waist. And look at your left foot. Make it parallel to the short edge of your mat. So have your toes facing the long edge. Then look at your right foot. Have your toes facing forward, or have your right foot parallel to the long edges of your mat. And then line up your feet. So you might need to adjust where they are so that your heel of your right foot cuts through the middle of your left foot. And then stretch your arms out to your side. Bend into your right knee. So your hamstrings shorten, the back of your upper leg. They flex to bend into your right knee. But then to help pull back a little bit more and stabilize everything, push down through your right foot, if you just have one. Without moving it, pull it back. It can help to push down through your left foot and do that same work of drawing it isometrically without moving it. Pull it forward. So pull your left foot forward, right foot back. You'll feel your legs get stronger. It can be So empowering to feel stronger in the way we're able to hold ourselves up. Before we lose that strength, turn your right palm up and come into the reverse warrior. Slide your left hand down your leg, reach your right arm back. When we do this, we usually straighten our right leg a little bit more. So here, instead, bend into your right knee. Pull back with your right foot to help get deep into your right leg. Reverse warrior. Make sure you're not pushing down with your left hand onto your left leg. It's more just a guide to glide your left hand along your left leg. Concentrate all of your effort here. Reverse warrior. And then come up to warrior two. Bend your right arm and lean onto your right thigh. Look over your left shoulder, turn your left palm up, and stretch your left arm long. Side angle pose. Pull back with your right foot so you can sit deeply and turn up towards the ceiling with your chest, with your gaze. Side angle pose. Stretch out. And then back to the lunge. Bring your left hand down, lift your left heel, bring your right hand down. Think about stepping forward, bend your left knee, and then step it forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Touch the ground, bend your knees as much as you need to, and move your chest back towards your thighs. Come up to your fingertips. Let's do half forward fold. Push through your fingertips, lift your chest, lengthen your spine, and then fold forward. Bend your knees, stand up, and reach up. And then bring your arms to your sides. Tadasana. I'm going to turn around so that you can see this. You can just stay where you are and look at the screen if you need the screen to follow these instructions. Behind your back, interlace your hands. Hold your hands. Then bend your elbows a little. And then point your elbows back behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other and stretch your arms straight or towards straight. The heels of your hand can be apart, that's fine. I'm used to this, so I bring the heels of my hands together, but that might not be possible to you today, for you today. Not a problem. Do what is possible. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Stretch up through your spine. And then release your hands. Tadasana. Stretch your arms up overhead. Fold forward and touch the ground. Step your right leg back. Lunge. And then instead of the same foot placement that we did for those last three poses, this time I'm going to have you place your right foot at an angle. So turn your right heel in and down, but have your right toes turning forward. Now, they can't go all the way forward. It's just not physically possible. So turn them forward about 45 degrees or so. Walk your left foot over to the middle of your mat. Push down through your feet and lift your torso. Bring your hands onto your waist and look forward and bend into your left knee. I've had you line up roughly heel to heel. Now, if the balance here is really challenging for you, we can modify that. Just walk your left foot over to the left to create more space between your feet, which is going to help you find your balance here. Place your hands on your waist, pull your right hip forward, and bend into your left knee. This is setting up for warrior one. Pull back with your left foot and stretch your arms up. Push with your right foot, lift through your arms. Pull back with your left foot. Warrior One, or Virabhadrasana 1. And then straighten your left leg. Bring your hands back onto your waist. Stick your butt back and fold forward. Come about halfway forward, working to get your spine parallel to the ground, but it's probably rounding. That's fine. Then reach down and grab your left leg. Pull up on your left leg and shift your hips to the right just a little bit. And then fold over your left leg. You'll probably feel the muscles in your left leg here. You'll probably feel your calf muscles. You'll probably feel your hamstrings. That's good. That's what we're going for. This is called Parsvottanasana, often called pyramid pose. Pull on your leg and then stretch your head towards your foot so you can feel those muscles a little bit more. Bend your left knee a little. Bring your hands to the ground on either side of your left foot. Lift your right heel and step forward and step your left leg back. Same setup for Warrior One and Parsvottanasana. So turn your left heel in and down and have your left toes pointing forward. If you were doing that last couple poses with heel to heel alignment, walk your right foot over and find heel to heel. But if you preferred to have your feet a little bit wider apart, do that. Bend into your right knee, push down through your feet, lift your torso, bring your hands onto your waist. Pull your left hip forward, bend into your right knee. And then stretch your arms up. Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Push with your left foot, stretch up through your arms. Bend into your right knee. And then to help do more of that bend, pull back with your right foot so you can sit a little bit deeper. Concentrate all of your effort here. Like it's the only thing in the world. Straighten your right leg. Bring your hands onto your waist. Push your butt back and fold forward. Again, come to about halfway forward, roughly spine parallel to the ground. And then grab your right leg. Pull up on your leg and round your back and fold over your right leg. Just like on the first side, you'll probably feel this in your calf muscles. You'll probably feel this in your upper back of your leg, your hamstrings. Good. Shift your hips to the left a little. Pull up on your leg and fold a little more deeply over your leg. Concentrate all of your effort here. Bring your hands down to the ground. Lift your left heel, downward facing dog. Back to that. Place your hands flat and step your right leg back. Bend your knees, lift through your hips, stretch out through your shoulders. And then step your right foot forward. I like to come up onto my fingertips when I do that. Step your right foot forward. Bring your left knee down to the ground. We're going to pigeon prep. So walk your right foot over to the left a little. Slide your right hand forward and place it flat. Then lean your right knee over to the left. And then this is a hard thing to explain. I have to really concentrate. I'm not joking. It really is. What I want you to do is point your right ankle and bring the top of your right foot, top of your right shin down to your mat, like this. Slide your foot back, then point your ankle, Bring the top of your foot, top of your shin down to the mat. Tuck your left toes under if your foot's flat. Lift your knee up, move your hips back. Bring your knee down, slide your toes back, and do that again. Do that a couple of times. And then you can place your left foot flat here. Walk your arms out in front of you and fold forward. Pigeon prep. I'm going to bend my elbows because I have some limited space here. If you can do this with your arms straight, do. This is pigeon prep. I want you to activate your hamstrings. So to do that, push down through your left foot, your back foot, and imagine that you're pulling it forward. Actually move your left hip a little towards your right foot. And then push down through your front foot, your right foot. And invisible movement here, pull your right knee towards your left hip. Oh, I hope the sound of the birds is being picked up by the microphone. It's just a beautiful song of a bird in the background. Maybe you'll hear it again. Walk your hands back, lift your chest up, tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee, lift your hips, step it back to down dog. Come up onto your fingertips. Step your left leg forward. Walk your left foot over to your right hand, bring your right knee down. Slide your left hand forward, place your left hand flat. And then this is that thing where you've got to slide your left foot back, point your ankle, and bring the top of your foot and your shin to the ground. So slide your left foot back, point your ankle, top of your left foot, front of your left shin, down to your mat. And then walk your right knee back. So push your toes down, lift your knee, stretch your right knee and hip back. And then do that a couple of times. And then walk your hands forward and fold forward. Pigeon prep. You can bring your forehead to the ground here. I'm not going to, just so that I can speak to you while we're doing this. Place your right foot flat behind you. Press all of your toes down. Just doing that is going to help activate your right hamstrings. But work a little more, pull your right hip towards your left foot. Push down through your left foot. And pull your left knee in towards your right hip. There won't be much movement there, but you might feel that your muscles engage more, they support you more. This pose, pigeon pose, is a pose that can give us lots of stability, lots of opportunity to concentrate our effort so that things that we didn't think we could do become things we can do. Walk your hands back, lift your chest up, tuck your right toes under, lift your hips, lift your right knee, lift your left knee, and step it back, down dog. Bend your knees, lift through your hips, and then bring your knees down to the ground. Walk your hands back, swing your feet over to the left, walk your hands back a little more, and sit your butt down. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Dandasana is staff pose. So stretch your legs out, place your hands beside your hips, and sit up tall. This is it, staff pose. If you can't touch the ground here, You can make fists, and that might make the ground more available. As much as we're all the same, and our family is like, oh, everybody's the same, and you're all the same, I love you all equally, we're actually all different. And our bodies are a little bit different. Some people have a hard time touching the ground here. It's just the way it is. Body proportions are different. But if you can do hands flat, do hands flat. We're all good. Stretch up through your spine. And then bend your knees. Take your peace fingers and grab your big toes. So bend your knees enough that you can grab your big toes. Wrap your thumbs around your big toes and bring your chest onto your legs. Then walk your butt back just a little bit. And then pull on your feet. Lengthen through your spine. This is a modification of a pose called Paschimottanasana, or seated forward fold. Keep your chest and your legs touching, but walk your feet away a little bit more, if you can. If you're at your max already, then stay there. So keep your chest touching your thighs. Push down with your hands. Pull back with your hands and push your feet into your hands and lengthen your spine a little bit more. Our hamstrings are really powerful muscles and we use them a lot. So they can be quite strong, quite tight, and they'll prevent us from doing this pose with straight legs and holding our feet a lot of the times. So that's why we're doing this bent knee variation. Use your chest and your thighs touching as your guideline and walk your feet away a little more. If you can do legs straight and chest touching thighs, be my guest. Push down with your hands, pull back with your hands, and push your feet into your hands. And then use that, stretch long through your spine a little bit more. Paschimottanasana, or seated forward fold. Breathe. Concentrate all of your effort here. And then push down with your hands. Lift your head. Lift your chest away from your legs a little. And then sit up. Shift your hips forward a little. Stretch your legs out. Lie down on your back. Bend your knees and place your feet on the ground. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. Bring your knees as wide as your ankles. So open up your knees a little. And then bring your arms into cactus pose. That means elbows out to your sides, palms facing up, arms on the ground. We call that cactus pose. Look to the right and roll your knees over to the left. Sometimes called windshield wiper pose. Sometimes called thunderbolt pose. Push down through your right shoulder. Relax your legs so that they get heavy over to the left. Just a gentle twist. Then come back to center. Look to the left and roll your knees to the right. Push down through your left shoulder. Relax your knees over to the right. And then come up to center. Walk your feet a little bit closer to each other. And then lift your right knee up towards your chest. Turn your right leg out and bring your right shin onto your left knee. Push your right knee away from you. And lift your left knee up. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. Take your right hand, reach through your legs, grab the back of your left leg, your hamstrings. Take your left hand, meet your right hand on your left hamstrings. Then push your hamstrings into your hands, pull with your hands, and move your right knee away from you. Keep all of that and bring your left knee in towards your chest a little bit more. Find the point where you're like, oh, that's enough stretch for me today. And then concentrate your efforts there. Then relax your grip. Move your left knee away. Let go of your leg and bring your left foot down. Bring your right foot down. Other side. Bring your left knee in towards you. Turn your left leg out. Bring your left shin on top of your right leg. Pick your right knee up. Switch your left arm in between your legs and grab the back of your right leg. Take your right hand around and grab your left hand. Hold your hamstrings. Push your hamstrings into your hands. Pull with your hands. And move your left knee away from you. That'll help focus the effort. Then bring your right knee in towards you. Find the point where you're like, oh, that's enough. And then concentrate all of your effort here. Push your right hamstrings into your hands. Pull with your hands. Move your left knee away from you. This is called Eye of the Needle, or Sukhi Randrasana. Then relax your grip. Let go of your leg. Bring your right foot to the ground. Bring your left foot to the ground. Stretch your legs out straight on the ground and bring your legs together. Bring your arms together at your sides. Remember Tadasana, standing at the top of your mat, mountain pose. Do that here, but on your back. Because we're on our back, bring your legs together. Squeeze your legs together. Stretch your arms straight. Just a nice cleansing, balanced pose before the final pose. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Turn your palms up at your sides and move your arms away from your body a little bit. Turn your legs out. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Relax your hands. Relax your elbows. Relax into your arms and your shoulders. Relax your toes and your feet. Relax up into your knees and all the way up into your hips. Relax your legs. Relax your belly. Relax your chest. Relax your face. This is our final pose, Shavasana. Let everything go here. There's no need for concentration or focus or effort. Let it go. Start to deepen your breath. Move your fingers and toes, wiggling your hips a little. Move your wrists and your ankles. Stretch your feet and your ankles and your legs. Stretch your arms up and overhead. and stretch like you're waking up. And then bend your knees, turn onto your side, and press yourself up to seated. And come to the seated position. You can look down at the ground or close your eyes. Concentrated effort overcomes all obstacles, even if they seem impossible. The idea of practicing yoga for 40 minutes can seem intimidating, can seem impossible when you're new to yoga. But if you bring your focus to the mat, you concentrate on the work, it becomes possible. This is how we find adventure in our yoga practice. It's how we find adventure in our life. Thanks for searching out this adventure today. Thanks for concentrating and bringing your effort to your practice. Namaste. Thanks for joining me for class today. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I hope that it taught you something about your poses and about the effort and concentration it takes to make the impossible possible. I know what it's like yoga poses can feel really impossible when you're new to yoga. Trust me, even when you're not new to yoga, there are so many possibilities out there with yoga, and it just inspires me to keep concentrating, to keep focusing. And that's my goal for you today, is to inspire you to keep focusing and to keep practicing. If you'd like to do another class with me on another day, there's a class of mine that I recommend. Just click on it, add it to your watch later list so it's there for you when you want to do some more yoga. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please just click my picture to subscribe. Thanks. See you soon.